The Traitor. That's the label they slapped on Mick Mills, a sting that still lingers for some Sunderland fans, all because of a last-minute transfer U-turn in 1982 that flipped a press conference into a footballing firestorm. But was Mick Mills a man who captained England at the 1982 World Cup, anchored Ipswich Town for 17 years with a record 741 appearances, and hoisted the 1978 FA Cup and 1981 UEFA Cup, really a betrayer? Or was he a loyal legend caught in a brutal business, forced to make a gut call that history warped into infamy? From a 1974 red card that cost Ipswich a European dream to a Falklands-fueled World Cup exit, Mills' career was a saga of triumphs and trials, marked by unwavering class and a workmanlike grit that defined an era. Born January 4, 1949, in Godalming, Surrey, Mills wasn't the flashiest star, but his steady presence made him the heartbeat of Bobby Robson's Ipswich dynasty. Yet, one phone call from Southampton's Laurie McMenemy changed everything, turning a loyal servant into a pariah for some. Let's unravel the truth behind the Traitor tag, trace Mills' journey from Suffolk's fields to England's armband, and honour a man whose legacy, despite a red card, a disallowed dream, and a transfer tempest, stands as a testament to football's enduring honour. This is Mick Mills, unfiltered, the captain, the record breaker, the misunderstood hero. Michael Dennis Mills grew up in post-war Surrey, the son of Dennis, a railway worker, and Betty, a homemaker, in a Godalming council estate where football was a refuge. Kicking leather balls in local parks, young Mick idolised Tottenham's Danny Blanchflower. Drawn to his command, spotted by Ipswich scouts at 14, he joined their youth ranks in 1964, turning pro in 1966 at 17 under Bill McGarry. A versatile left-back who could slot into midfield, Mills debuted versus Wolves in a 5-3 loss, his 5 feet 7 inches frame belying a tenacity that tackled giants like George Best with ease. Under Bobby Robson from 1969, he became Ipswich's spine. His 591 league appearances, 737 total, 22 goals, a club record that stands in 2025. Known for reliability, never booked until his 30s. A rarity, Mills earned the captain's armband in 1971 at 22, leading with quiet steel, not showy speeches. His 1973-74 season was a breakout, 52 appearances, anchoring a side that finished 4th in the First Division and reached the UEFA Cup quarters. But storms loomed. In Leipzig, March 20, 1974, a UEFA Cup quarter-final versus Locomotive turned ugly. Ipswich led 1-0 from the first leg, but the away tie level at 1-1 aggregate saw Mills sent off in the 43rd minute for a retaliatory foul on Wolf Rudiger, his only career red card. "I mistimed it, nothing malicious," Mills protested in a 2008 East Anglian Daily Times interview, but the referee's call stood, leaving Ipswich with 10 men. They fought to penalties, but lost 4-3, crashing out. The ban cost Mills the entire 1974-75 European campaign, a gut punch for a team eyeing semi-finals. The 1975 FA Cup run was another crucible. Mills' 87th minute rocket versus Liverpool in the 5th rounder 2-1 upset kept Wembley dreams alive. But the semi-final versus West Ham was a nightmare. Referee Clive Thomas disallowed to Brian Hamilton goals, 1-4 offside, 1-4 a foul, both perfectly good. Mills insisted in his 1988 memoir Tough at the Top. West Ham's 2-1 win crushed Ipswich, who'd battled through 9 grueling ties, including a 2-1 epic over Leeds. "The best club side I ever faced," per Mills, unable to watch West Ham lift the cup. He fled to Newmarket races, the sting to roar. Redemption came in 1978. Ipswich's FA Cup triumph, a 1-0 Wembley win over Arsenal. Roger Osborne's goal saw 9 1975 survivors, Mills included, fueled by past injustice. The 1981 UEFA Cup followed, a 5-4 aggregate thriller over AZ Alkmaar. Mills lifting silverware as captain in front of 27,532 at Portman Road. His 40 to England caps 1972 to 82. 33 as captain. Peaked at the 1982 World Cup, leading an unbeaten side 3 group wins to second phase draws. 1 goal conceded that fell victim to a quirky format. The World Cup was bittersweet. Fresh off the Falklands War ended June 14, 1982. Mills sensed hostility, especially from host Spain. They didn't want us to progress, he told The Guardian in 2002, citing political fallout. England's 0-0 draws versus West Germany and Spain in the second group stage, needing wins to advance, saw them exit, despite conceding just once to West Germany. The format, a mini-league sans quarterfinals, baffled Mills. It wasn't football logic, he said, a view echoed by Ron Greenwood. His final cap, that Spain's stalemate, marked the end at 33. Bobby Robson, now England boss, favouring younger legs like Phil Neal. The Traitor saga of 1982 was the deepest cut. After 17 years, 741 games, and 2 trophies, Ipswich reeling from financial strain post-Robson's England move refused to renew Mills' contract at 33. I was gutted, forced out after giving everything, he told 442 in 2010. Sunderland, managed by Alan Durban, swooped, finalising terms for a second division move. A press conference was set for August 1982. Paperwork inked, cameras ready. Then, hours before, Southampton's Laurie McMenemy called. Something clicked. Mills recalled in Tough at the Top. Southampton felt right, better club, better vision. He phoned Durban, cancelling. Sunderland's presser collapsed, fans fuming. It wasn't money, terms were identical, Mills insisted, but Roker Park faithful branded him traitor, booing him mercilessly in later clashes, especially after he scored in Southampton's 2-0 win over Sunderland in 1983. The move proved inspired. Southampton finished second in the 1983-84 First Division, reached the 1984 FA Cup semi-final, losing 1-0 to Everton, and qualified for Europe twice. Mills playing 123 games for goals until retiring in 1985 at 36. Best decision I made, he told The Independent in 1998. But Sunderland's scars lingered, fans unforgiving of the last-minute snub. Mills' character shone beyond the saga. Post-retirement, he coached at Birmingham City 1986-89, scouted for Sheffield Wednesday, and ran a sports shop in Ipswich, staying rooted to the club's heart. His 2009 MBE for services to football, 1981 and 1978 PFA Team of the Year nods, and Ipswich's 2007 Hall of Fame induction shared with Robson cemented his stature. Personal life was steady. Married to Maureen since 1970, to daughters Sarah, Claire. He lived quietly in Suffolk, golfing and guesting on BBC Radio Suffolk. Controversies were few, but sharp. The 1974 Leipzig Red Card Mestime Challenge, not malice caused a European run. The 1975 FA Cup robbery by Clive Thomas fueled a lifelong grudge. The 1982 World Cup's Falklands shadow and odd format left him bitter. But the traitor tag, overblown. Mills gave Ipswich 17 years, rejecting richer clubs like Arsenal in the 70s. Forced out, he chose Southampton's ambition over Sunderland's struggle. Professional, not personal. I followed my gut, not my wallet, he said. A claim backed by identical contracts. Sunderland's booze loudest in a 1-9-8-4-3-1 loss faded against his resume. 741 Ipswich games, 42 England caps, FA Cup 78, UEFA Cup 81. Mills' legacy is no traitor's tale. His Ipswich record 591 league games, unmatched stands beside trophies and England's armband. The 1978 FA Cup run 7 games. Weaker foes avenged 1975's 9-game slog. The UEFA Cup crowned a decade of Robson's revolution. Southampton's success second in 84. Europe twice vindicated his call. The Leipzig Red, a rare slip in a clean career. The World Cup, a format flaw, not his failure. The Sunderland snub, a business move, not betrayal. Fans hurt didn't rewrite his honour. Described by Robson as neatly dressed, quietly spoken, thoughtful, Mills embodied football's dignity, leading Ipswich to glory and England through turbulence. At 76, living in Ipswich with Maureen, his story told at 2007's Hall of Fame gala resonates. Loyalty to a club that forced him out, integrity in a transfer tempest, class in every tackle. Mick Mills, no traitor, all Titan. From Godalming's Parks to Portman Road's Pantheon, his 741 games, 2 trophies, and 1980 to captaincy outweigh one phone call's echo. Sunderland's chance faded. His legacy roars. Traitor or a hero? Drop your take below. Smash like 4 Mills magic. Subscribe for more football truths.